It's January 24th, a little over 5 a.m. in the morning. And I've said it in other videos, but I've learned that as I'm preparing things, that there's a lot of videos that won't be posted, and they've been deleted just because they weren't any type of good. So, and you can imagine that, hey, if this is good enough to be put out, then what the bad stuff is like. But, yeah, so I've gotten a lot more understanding with each day. It's like my mind is fully opened up, or really just understanding and having my mind open to any and all reasoning, even if it's something I don't want it to be, even if it isn't something that's good, it's just real. And I've been lacking being able to do that, which is part of my ultimate and final understanding of my life. And that's because, which I may have also mentioned, is distraction. I've had to use it as I guess, like a coping method. I guess it's probably actually the definition of a coping method. Yeah, that's what it is. And it's one of the tools that you're supposed to use when you have, these chronic, especially severe chronic issues, chronic pain. It's supposed to help you just not, it's distraction. Everybody knows what the fuck distraction is. But I realized that the problem was that my life is so fucked up. It's going so poorly, and the future is only worse than the present. Every day and nearly every moment is filled with distraction. Every distraction against all the negative things in life. And I do that because I know, I know that my life isn't good. It doesn't look good. And to keep going, you have to distract yourself from it. Forget all the negatives, all the mistakes that you make, because of it. All the shitty things that you look like and do, and none of it's really like intentional, it's not like it's all my body, it's all my illness. And I'm losing, and I can't win. And that's the reality of it. So, if I want to continue, when I wanted, I still was trying. I was trying very hard to struggle through, power through the low moments when, but it becomes a problem when every moment is a low moment and then you can't fix it because you can't fix yourself. Yeah, so it's a lot of distraction, a lot of trying to forget, do things like just, I've embarrassed myself, I've looked foolish, I've done foolish things sometimes. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I really have. I have tried, and deep down I know I could have did a better job. It's the reality of it. I could have did a better fucking job. And maybe it's just beating up on myself, but it's like 80%, it's like, is that the best I could have done? I could have, like there was a little more in me that I could have pushed out more. It's a war, It's a battle with your body. And I was faced with a problem. I was faced with the enemy. If I'm fitting in with this analogy of war. And they made their move. And I didn't have even though that I was going to lose, right? Even though it was a losing battle, I didn't 100% of the way do absolutely everything I could. I let it affect me, let it affect my mind. Sure, I was the mental warfare is real. And I didn't do as well as I thought I was doing. I didn't do as well as I wanted to be. But the truth is, too, that even though that's true, right? it's also true that no matter what I did, it would have made a huge impact. It would have made a huge difference. There would have been, there most likely would have been some, you know. I'm being optimistic and saying that, hey, maybe if I did put in that extra 20%, 25% of effort, but you know, that I would have gotten something out of it. You know, it wouldn't have just been for nothing. Even if it was just a little bit different, a little bit better. And I had to realize, you know, it was, this is a mind fuck. You know what I mean? Excuse me for cursing, but like this is how deep it gets. You know, at least I don't know. It's how my life has been, where it's like it's fucked up on every side. Like there's something wrong in everything. Nothing's as right as it should be. And I'm not, when I'm saying this, like, I'm not mad, you know. That's obvious, I think. You know, but I don't feel like, I don't feel angry about it anymore. I used to. That was, it's kind of, it's something that, it's one of the risks you take, you know, when you are really trying to struggle through something where you're trying to get through it, you're trying to power through it, you're trying to go through it and still succeed in some type of way. You know, you have that, I have, and that frustration that helps build my confidence up against it, you know, my own emotions to help fuel my ability in battling this illness. I accept it, you know. Sure, I mean, it isn't something that I want, but I feel content. I really, truly have accepted it. And I've said this, I've said it before now, so many times to myself, and maybe, and I know I've said it in videos, again, maybe not ones that have been out, but now I really believe it. I didn't just, not that, I really mean it. I really mean it. That's what I mean. It's not it's like I knew it was real. and I agreed with it, but there was still a small part of me that was still frustrated. I still didn't want it to happen, I still had that anger in me. And then I let that go. So I've been praying a lot for understanding, and I get more of it. Another thing that I get is if I was successful in hip hop, if I was healthy, it's funny because I mentioned hip hop first, because that's my passion, right? That's my love, or whatever. Not or whatever. Like that's me. That's my fucking heart. That's what I do. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. But it's funny I put that before my life. I understand that. I knew that if I was healthier, and this is what it's all getting to, this is what I'm trying to say. I knew that if I was healthier with what I was doing, I would have crashed out. I would have already been, I would have been dead. Maybe in prison. But I wasn't gonna do a long term. Nah, I would have ended it before that. Like real shit. Before anything more than like, I say 10, but really like an 11, 12. I'm cool. Like, I'll take my chances with death. It's just gonna be more struggle, being in prison. I'm a, excuse me. I feel like God has saved me from that. And I think he did it because I didn't want that, I didn't want it. I mean, who the fuck wants to really, really die young? Or spend so many years in prison? We can front all we want to. We can lie. We can say out loud in front of anybody that, we don't give a fuck. I'm speaking for most people when I say that we do. A lot of us do give a fuck. And it's not even necessarily other people. So many of us, all of us, we're just, each one of us thinks we are the most important, no matter what. If there was a decision between you or somebody else, most people would say, well, it's got to be somebody else. You know what I mean? It's said all the time, but it's really like we are in our own little worlds. And we think the world is ours. I don't even mean like on a, it don't even have to be like a big thing, like a major, like where you're like a 1,000% ambitious, or, like have such strong feelings in these things, but they're all in us. Even if it's just the smallest amount. We want to live a happy life. Each of our happy might be different, but that's what we all want.